Hello guys and welcome to the moon. My name is Carl and I'm bringing you this cryptocurrency video and another collaboration with Ivan on Tech. Ivan, how are you doing today?
Very good, Carl. Thanks a lot for having me on the channel. Always a pleasure, always fantastic to be here. And we just recorded a video for my channel as well. So yeah, it's always good to be here with your community. Your community always making a lot of gains. I sometimes come and see the chat, the comment section, people saying how much they've made with trading. So that's so good. So thank you, Carl. And thank you guys for having me here and happy to discuss.
Perfect. Yeah, people love to have you on because you have such a great wide perspective on altcoins, and that's why I want to pick your brain about the altcoin market right now. I know that people are very excited to hear about your thoughts. And so in the past few months, we did see very violent, explosive moves in the altcoins. But in the past few weeks, we have seen that kind of cool down a little bit. We've seen the Bitcoin dominance has started to go a little bit sideways. What do you think? Do you believe that we're going to see altcoins continue to rally in the next few weeks? Or do you think that this altcoin season is over and we're going to see a correction in altcoins against Bitcoin?
I think it depends on what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin goes back to 55, 58K and calms down there, doesn't pump too much, but if it's about 55, 54, it shows bullishness, but doesn't take all the attention, then I think alts can do very, very well, because that's normally what happens. When Bitcoin is too bullish, if Bitcoin pumps all the way to 80K tomorrow, I don't think alts will perform well, because normally when Bitcoin pumps, it just sucks out all the air from the room, and everyone now is interested in mostly Bitcoin. But when we see Bitcoin taking a bit of a sideways action instead of going up and up and up and up, that's the time when people get bored. I think many people in Bitcoin, even people who are Bitcoin holders, they also get a bit bored, because the joy with Bitcoin is the volatility. I mean, everyone who is here, everyone who is watching, I think, especially on your channel, they enjoy volatility. People enjoy volatility. This community enjoys volatility. So when Bitcoin removes that volatility, now you go into alts. Now people want to find something different. So I think it depends what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin becomes boring, then we might see a very, very significant altcoin season coming up. And if Bitcoin pumps a lot, then it will be mostly attention on Bitcoin.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually, exactly. And the question is then, of course, if Bitcoin were to get a huge correction, let's say Bitcoin were to go down 50%, do you think that this would be good or bad for altcoins? And also vice versa, if Bitcoin pumps, let's say up to $80,000 or $100,000, is this going to be good or bad for altcoins? I would love to know what you think, because this is, of course, we want to be able to kind of predict the future here if we want to swing the altcoins.
Yeah, I think if Bitcoin dumps, everything else will dump as well. Just look at Corona dump. Normally, it follows. In a big dump, I don't see altcoins surviving that well. But in a pump, I'm sure that altcoins will perform well as well, but not in Bitcoin terms. In dollar terms, yes, but in Bitcoin terms, no. So for alts to outperform Bitcoin, Bitcoin needs to be boring. So that's when I think we will see dominance start to go up. And then at the end of the bull market, basically, the last few weeks, I think both of them will perform very well, and both of them will skyrocket in dollar values. And I think alts will be also keeping up with Bitcoin quite well, if not even outperforming Bitcoin. But that's normally at the very, very end of the bull market, when you see both of them just, increasing. But in case, to summarize, in case Bitcoin is boring, good for alts in dollar and Bitcoin value. If Bitcoin is bearish, alts, in my view, will be bearish as well. If Bitcoin is bullish, alts will be bullish in dollar, maybe not that bullish in Bitcoin terms. But, when alts are bullish in Bitcoin terms, then they outperform a lot. It's not that alts just outperform a bit. When alts pump, they pump. Okay, so that's why, if Bitcoin goes sideways, we're not really talking about, just a bit better than Bitcoin. It's a lot better than Bitcoin. So that's really the risk reward in alts, that they can do very, very well against Bitcoin if Bitcoin becomes sleepy.
Yeah, for sure. And I would like to ask you about like specific altcoins. Are you looking at specific altcoins right now? I know that many people are talking about Uniswap right now, because it has been going up in the past few days and weeks. And yeah, I mean, Uniswap is one of the coins that people are actually using, or the app Uniswap, right? So can you maybe share your thoughts about, are you bullish or are you bearish?
Yeah. So let me bring up CoinGecko here. So we do see something very interesting. Uniswap right now is in the top 10, which is amazing. And this is something that we've been discussing a lot on my channel, that all of these DeFi coins, DeFi projects that have not been even close to top 10. You know, Uniswap, it was top 20, top 30. We said that it's going to be in top 10. Why? Because DeFi is what's used. There are so many other dead coins that are still in here in top 20 that nobody really cares about, that are still performing quite well in the rankings. And this reshuffling right now is taking place. So coins that are actually used, like Uniswap, or at least the product is used, and Uniswap coin is the governance coin, and you want to be in governance if you want to decide what's going to happen with the future of the project. So it's really kind of like a share in a company where you can vote and you can decide what happens. The same is with Uniswap protocol. You get the coin, you can decide what happens. Now imagine Uniswap becomes the NASDAQ of a blockchain. Well, of course, you want to be able to decide what will happen to that project. And so there's a lot of demand for that. Right now, it's, of course, all altcoins and Bitcoin right now inclusive, it's mostly, you know, expectations about the future. So right now, it's not that people who buy Uniswap, they want to be deciding today what's going to happen with Uniswap. It's more that, hey, it's expectation of the future, that if Uniswap grows in the future, people will want to decide what's going to happen to it. So that's why it pumps. Other coins that I think will do quite well are other DeFi coins, like for example Aave, like for example OneInch we've been discussing in the past. FTX also, it's an exchange coin, but FTX is doing a lot, especially with Sushi. Sushi is also one of these coins that I do not expect to remain at 40 in the rankings like it is right now. And I know, Carlo, you cannot see the screen, but the viewers can see the screen now. Compound is another one. So all in all, looking at projects that are actually used versus projects that are not used, in my mind, is the biggest indicator what's to come. And Uniswap has done very, very well, exactly because people know the brand, people know what it is, and people want to decide what's going to happen to it. So yes, I do think that this reshuffling will still happen, because if you look at CoinMarketCap and you look at the top 20 coins, there are still a few coins that nobody is really using. You know, the product is not really used, but still they're high in the market cap because of tradition mainly, because they've always been high on the market cap. And that reshuffling is happening right now.
Okay. And the last question I want to ask you is about the fact that many people are talking about Ethereum being, well, too hard to use because of the fees. There are high gas fees. And right. People are saying that maybe there's another alternative out there that can be better. So there's a lot of speculation if you should maybe buy Cardano or maybe Polkadot instead. Do you believe that there is a risk, so to speak, that Ethereum is going to get flipped over and that we're going to see another coin take over the number 2 spot? Or do you think that Ethereum is far too strong and have a too big network effect for that to take place?
You know, the only coin that could overtake Ethereum as number 2 is Tether. You know, if these guys start printing 1 billion a day, they will soon take over. But in terms of other coins, I don't think so. And the reason is because we will see Uniswap version 3 soon, which is gonna use layer 2. When Uniswap goes to layer 2, it's basically most of the use case in DeFi, you know, trading. And if that is the case, if we have scaled trading, that's what most people do. You know, most people in DeFi, they don't do a lot of lending, they don't do a lot of the other things that DeFi offers. They mostly use Uniswap and they want to trade. So if we can have Uniswap version 3 and that is layer 2 and it scales perfect, I think it will solve a lot of problems for the average Joe, basically 90% of the fee problem. Then we've also seen the rise of Binance Chain, which has been insane. And like we discussed on your channel last time, we discussed PancakeSwap, we discussed Binance Chain in our last collaboration, and it has played out insanely well. I mean, this whole Binance Chain bet. That one is still growing. I don't think it will replace ETH because it's one of these hype cycles. It comes, it goes. I don't think it will be a long-term hype cycle with Binance. But Binance has a big advantage, and that is that they have Binance the exchange offering the bridge, so you can put basically any coin on Binance exchange and you can withdraw them on Binance Chain. That is something that layer 2 solutions on Ethereum don't have. So it's more user friendly to take your Ethereum coins and put them on Binance Chain than to take your Ethereum coins and put them on Ethereum layer 2, which is something that I think exchanges like Kraken, like Coinbase, they need to really think about, because if they don't support layer 2 for Ethereum, they're gonna lose a lot to Binance, because Binance is gonna grow not only as an exchange, also as a blockchain, as an ecosystem of dApps. So we're gonna see how it will happen. But Binance Chain for sure is a strong contestant. I don't think it will replace ETH, because, I mean, look, for Binance Coin to go from 36 billion to 200, where Ethereum is right now, they need to do a 7x, while Ethereum is still... I don't really see it happening. Maybe it will happen, but I'm not really seeing that. Could Cardano do something like that? Cardano also, if Cardano does a 7x approximately, a bit less, and Ethereum does not do anything, then Cardano will flip. Cardano right now, they don't have the community actually building yet. We will have smart contracts very, very soon, so it's going to be interesting. But right now, there are no working dApps yet, so it's difficult to say. We need to see the launch and the projects actually building something, because then we'll see, is this valuation that Cardano has right now justified or not? Because now it's all about, soon they're gonna be smart contracts, soon there's gonna be this dApp, soon there's gonna be this, that. So we need to soon have the product launch with smart contracts and people actually building some DeFi, and then we will see, okay, Cardano, if it looks amazing, then there's a good chance that Cardano does very, very well. If it doesn't look as amazing as people expected, we might have to reconsider this valuation. The same thing is with Polkadot, by the way. Polkadot is really at the stage right now where many projects are launching, but they're launching both on Polkadot and Kusama, because many of them cannot get Parachain on Polkadot. And Kusama is kind of like Polkadot, but cheaper. So it's the same with Polkadot. So these are, of course, more high-risk bets, Polkadot and Cardano, but the thing that Polkadot has is an insane community. So many projects already launching, raising funds. Cardano also has a bit smaller than Polkadot, but also has quite a nice community. So we're gonna see. All in all, to summarize this whole Ethereum 2 discussion, Binance Chain right now to me looks like the biggest contestant. In the near future, we're gonna have Uniswap version 3 launching. That's gonna be very important for ETH. If we can actually use Uniswap with layer 2 without fees. If yes, I think Ethereum has secured its place. If it's too difficult, it's a lot of friction, then the Binance chains, the Polkadots, the Cardano, they will have a good chance to beat Ethereum for sure. Another thing we have is Matic, which is another layer 2 solution on ETH, which is growing a lot. So we're gonna see. There's a lot to be explored this year, but right now I have a hard time seeing that Cardano or Polkadot will actually replace ETH as number 2. The only coin that can do it is Tether. If they start printing billions per day, they can do it, and they could do it, at any time.
Yeah, I know. Tether has been printing a lot, and I guess everyone is always telling me, saying that Tether printing is the reason why the prices are going up.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's any relevance to that statement at all?
Well, you never know. It's always very fishy that there is no audit. Why no audit? Just do an audit. It's so simple. You have dollars, just do an audit. I also watched a very interesting. I can recommend everyone a very interesting documentary about Charles Ponzi. Go on YouTube and find. It's a recent one. And he also was asked about the audit many times, and he actually had his own bank. Many people don't know that, but the guy actually bought his own bank. So he looked very credible. And he said, we're soon going to have an audit. Then he tried to use the deposits of the bank to prove that his scheme was working, because he wanted to show, hey, look at all of this money, but it wasn't money in the scheme, it was money in the bank that he then wanted to use as proof that the funds are there, but it all busted. So it's just something that to keep in mind. One of the single most important black swan is if we wake up tomorrow and the US government goes after Tether, and we see something like with BitMEX, where Arthur Hayes has gone into hiding, although I read that he will surrender to the government next month. If something like that would happen, it will not be good. And it doesn't even matter if Tether is used to pump the market or not. The thing that matters is that Tether is the liquidity of Bitcoin. You look at the trading pairs, it is Tether. So even if there's some kind of other problem, it's not really a problem with, pumping the price. Maybe it's a problem with KYC, money laundering. I mean, it's a lot that could be. So maybe it's the one single thing that is not really looking good to me in terms of, black swans. Many people say it's FUD, Tether FUD, and many people say that this FUD has already been resolved with the recent settlement with the New York Attorney General, but I think this has been a bit misrepresented, because if you read what they actually say is that, okay, there is a settlement. It's not that Tether has won, it's a settlement. It means that they're closing the case and they don't continue, but Tether still needs to pay, and they need to report every quarter exactly the backing. They need to be they basically need to do an audit every quarter, okay? And they have never done an audit in the past, and now they need to do it every quarter. Another interesting thing, Tether right now is 35 billion, 36, as we see now on CoinMarketCap. PayPal has less reserves than Tether, according to this number. So I don't know. I mean, of course, we don't know. They have the benefit of the doubt. But I mean, for God's sake, just do an audit. If it's all good, just do an audit, man. You have you have all of these billions. You just spend like 5 million on an audit. Everyone happy. Yeah. Perfect. That, I would be the first one to say that Tether is amazing if they do an audit. Okay.
Yeah, it is very suspicious that they never had an audit. They did put out some kind of attempt of an audit. I remember like more than 1 or 2 years ago, but that was not it was not an actual audit. It was just like a law firm.
New York Attorney General said that they moved the funds into the bank account the same day as they did that statement. Which, why? I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, there are many things. Of course, the defense is that they say, you know, it's very difficult to get a bank account, so we need to always like juggle different ways of banking, and now we transfer. Yeah, let's see. I give them still benefit of the doubt, but in my risk assessment, I cannot look past it. Look, you can read all the FOMO you want about Tether being, you know, all good, all fine, but when it comes to the funds, you know, managing funds, I cannot look past that risk, and I cannot just say, hey, it's FUD, let's move on, let's go to the moon. You know, and in Bitcoin, we saw in Corona dump, you wake up, Bitcoin down 60, it can happen. Look, it can. Not to spread a lot of FUD. Let's go back to FOMO, Carl. It's people gonna comment too much FUD.
Exactly. Yeah, but it is a threat. I mean, if the Tether, if Tether were to blow up, then that would definitely be a massive threat to crypto, because we have such a strong relationship with Tether. Like all the exchanges and like everyone is using Tether. So if that just vanishes, then that would be very, very bad. And let's hope that they are completely legit. Yes. But my opinion is also that it's very, very suspicious, and there's something fishy going on there for sure. I really hope we can see some more clarity there and see a clear audit or something. But for now, I guess we just have to kind of hope that it doesn't blow up now or
exactly.
But it will blow up at some point, it seems like. But yeah, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, man.
Thanks a lot, Carl. Thanks a lot. Pleasure being here. Pleasure discussing. Always a fantastic time. And thanks, guys, for having me here.
Yeah, smash the like button down there. I mean, these collaborations, they get more likes than any other video they have on my channel. So let's see if we can smash up to 15,000 likes. That would be nice. Ivan, I will be happy to have you over on my channel very soon again, because these collaborations are very fun to make. Do you have any last words?
Perfect, Carl. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, guys. And we'll be back soon. Have a good day.
Yes. Bye-bye.